Hi, in this video I'm going to show you how to install the new Double Slow-Fold Strut onto your JB rack. The Double Slow-Fold Strut makes the rack much easier to manage when it's loaded up. It controls the movement, supports the weight, and prevents sudden drops. This new Double Strut version is a bit different from the original one. It uses 2 struts instead of 1, so there are a few simple changes we need to make to the current setup before installing it. These changes should only take about 5 to 10 minutes. For the double strut to fit correctly, we need to move the hitch bar forward 2 holes. Here is what the hitch bar position looks like now, and here is where it will sit afterwards. The easiest way to do this is with the rack upside down. First, you'll need to loosen the bolts that hold the hitch bar in place. You will need to loosen these 3 bolts fully so the rack can slide forward. Once they are loose, you can simply slide the bar forward into the new position. You should have 2 holes at the end. This creates the correct clearance for the double strut to operate. Once it's in the correct position, tighten every bolt back down firmly. Make sure the bar is sitting straight and centered. The next step is to raise the bottom bar up by 2 holes. Locate the 2 bolts that are connecting the bottom bar to the main frame. You'll need to fully unloosen these bolts so we can move it up by 2 holes. Once the bolts are out, you can lift the bar upwards. You can either slide it up, or some prefer to remove the bar entirely and then reposition it. Once your bolts are lined up, you can tighten the screws. Now we are going to adjust the triangle brackets. These brackets are what hold your struts in place. Both of your triangle brackets will currently be facing towards your vehicle. We are going to remove them and rotate them so they face away from the vehicle instead. Start by removing both bolts that hold the bracket into place. Once the bolts are out, remove the brackets completely. Then we're going to flip them around. Instead of mounting them back in the original position, we are going to attach them underneath the bottom bar. These will attach to the last 2 holes at the bottom. Make sure the brackets are sitting flat and square, then tighten the bolts firmly. These brackets will now hold the front end of the double strut. In your box, you will receive 2 slow-fold struts and a packet of bolts and hardware. Each strut has 2 different ends. One end is black and the other end is silver. To install the double strut, we're going to use 4 washers, 2 bolts for each strut, and 2 locking nuts. You will also need 4 metal black spacers that came with your original bike rack. We are going to use the 2 smallest spacers and the 2 second smallest spacers. The black end of each strut is going to mount to the hitch bar. We will be using the smallest black spacers. Start by sliding a washer onto the bolt. Then slide the black end of the strut onto the bolt. Next, we're going to slide on one of the smallest spacers. Now we're going to push our bolt through the end hole of the hitch bar. On the other side, assembly is going to be in the opposite order. That means our spacer will be first, then the strut, then the washer, and finally the locking nut. Tighten the nut by hand for now. We want the strut to have some movement so we can align the other side before locking it down. Now we're going to attach the silver ends of the strut onto our triangle bracket. Start again with a washer on the bolt, then the silver end of the strut, then we're going to use our second largest spacer. Push the bolt through the bracket. If the strut doesn't quite reach, you can twist the silver end to extend it slightly. It is threaded so it will lengthen and shorten. Once it reaches comfortably, push the bolt all the way through. Then we can assemble the other side in the reverse order. First the spacer, then the strut, then our washer, and finally with the locking nut. Now that both ends of both struts are mounted, we can tighten all the locking nuts. Tighten the bolts firmly but so the struts are still able to move. And that completes the installation. Flip your rack back over to the upright position and now you can mount it on your car as normal. Thanks for watching and have fun riding.